this first question, we have to arrange all this product according to their density, and that too in increasing order of their density. Now first of all, what is the density? Density means mass per unit volume. So that is our density. If we will think about solid, liquid and gas, so solid is a compact substances, so solid has maximum density, then liquid has a little less density compared to solid, and gaseous atoms are least dense among these three. So if we are arranging them according to, in order to, in increasing of their density, then the first one will be the least dense, and then last one will be the most dense. So in this, the least dense, obviously all the gaseous atoms will be least dense, and most dense will be all the solid substances. So first we will identify what all are the solid, what all are the liquid. So these two are gaseous, these two are liquid atoms, and these three are solid atoms. Now from this we have to categorize them, that which one is denser than the other one. Here we will write that least one first. So which one is the least one? Air and exhaust from chimney. Now we know that whenever the air is coming from the chimney, the exhaust is coming from the chimney, it consists of oil droplets, water droplets, and what all impurities will be there in kitchen air will come out of this exhaust. And air is a pure air, so that is less dense compared to this. This is more denser compared to the air. So air will be the least dense one, then it will be the exhaust from the chimney. Now among these two, honey and water, we know that honey is denser than water. So water will come first and then it will come honey. Then these three. Into these three, this chalk, cotton and iron. Now cotton, we know that this is a thread like material and there are gaps in between that. So the cotton will come first. Among the solid, this is the least dense. After that the chalk will come. Then after that the iron will come, because iron is as a metal and chalk is a compound which is lighter than iron. So iron will be the most dense substance among all, and air is the least dense substance among all this. Now let us learn some of the reasons based on characteristic properties of matter. These reasons are from page number 6. So first reason is, a gas fills completely the vessel in which it is kept. Now let us compare the three states of matter. I have taken three vessels. In this I have taken marbles, which will act as solid. Then as a liquid I am taking water. So 2 liters of water I am taking into this, and it will occupy some specific space. Solid will also occupy some specific space. Now when we are talking about gas, for example, I am taking 2 liters of oxygen gas. Then, for example, 2 liters will occupy this much space. But will it remain till here? No, it won't remain till here. It will occupy the space, whatever space has been there in the vessel. Why? Because solid has fixed volume. Liquid also has fixed volume, but gaseous components do not have fixed volume. they can expand as per the vessel, and they can be compressed if we are applying pressure. All these things we have learnt in earlier videos. So why this is happening when it comes with gas? Because gases have very low intermolecular force of attraction. So their particles are at distance with each other. They have large intermolecular gaps in between them. They have low force of attraction and they are randomly moving in whatever vessel they are keeping into it. So first thing is they have very low intermolecular force of attraction. Second thing is they are moving randomly, and third thing is they have very high kinetic energy. So because of all these factors, they will occupy the space whatever they are given it. So a gas fills completely the vessel. Even if a little gas will be there, then also it will occupy whatever space has been given to, whatever space will be there in the vessel, the gas will occupy all the space. Let us see that how can we write it. Whenever we are answering and reason, there will be always a law or any characteristic property or any specific phenomena will be responsible for that. So whenever we are starting writing a reason, so always we will start with that law, that characteristic property or that phenomena, and then we will end with because of that, or that is why this thing is happening, or that is why this thing is like this. So this is the way we can answer any reason. So here, when the reason is like this, a gas fills completely the vessel in which it is kept. Here we have to discuss the characteristic properties of gas. So first we will note down all the characteristic properties. So either you will write it in a point-wise manner, that gases have large intermolecular gaps in between them, then they have least interparticular attraction. In a point-wise manner you can note it down, and then you can write because of all these characteristic properties gas fills the vessel, and or otherwise you can write it like this in a sentence. Gaseous particles have least interparticle attraction with large intermolecular spaces. They move in random motion with maximum kinetic energy. Here I have clubbed two characteristic properties in one sentence. That gaseous particles have least interparticle attraction with large intermolecular spaces, and they move in random motion with maximum kinetic energy. So because of these four things, so that one thing is this, second is this, random motion is third, and fourth is this. So because of this four thing, a gas fills the vessel in which it is kept. In this chapter, almost all reasons are based on characteristic property of solid, liquid and gas. So if in exam a reason came which you haven't seen earlier or which you haven't learned earlier, then just see or just check which state of matter they are talking about. Then simply note down its characteristic properties, and you can frame a last sentence like this. It won't be fully correct, then also you will get half mark for the characteristic property of whatever state they have mentioned in the reason. So like that you can answer it, but when you don't know, you can try that. Otherwise you have to note down all the characteristic property in a manner that whatever reason has been given, whatever question has been given to you, all this characteristic property will become an answer for that. Second reason is also based on the characteristic properties of gaseous atoms. It says that a gas exerts pressure on the wall of the container. Now we know that gaseous particles are in a random motion. They do have maximum kinetic energy. So when they are in a random motion, they will collide with each other, and at the same time this collision happens with the gaseous container's wall also. So because of this collision with the wall, they will exert some pressure on the container. So because of all these properties of gaseous particles, they will exert pressure on the wall. So how can we write it? That gaseous particles possesses maximum kinetic energy. Particles are in a continuous random motion. First we have to start with that they have maximum energy, and with this energy they are moving. But how they are moving? They are moving in random motion. They have maximum energy and then they are moving in random motion. Because they are moving in random motion, while in motion they will collide with each other and on the wall. So suppose this is a vessel, so they will collide with each other, at the same time they will collide with wall also. So the collision with wall exerts pressure on the wall. So this is the reason that they are exerting pressure on the wall. So the 3 points are important, that they are possessing maximum kinetic energy, they are in random motion, and while moving randomly they will collide with each other and on the wall. This collision with wall exerts pressure on the wall because they are in so much of force, and with this force they are colliding with wall. So because of this collision they are exerting pressure on the wall. So next reason is a wooden table should be called a solid. So why we can say a wooden table is a solid? So here we have to note down all its characteristic properties. So answer will be like this. Wooden table possesses all the characteristic properties of solids, like definite volume, definite shape, it's rigid, it has maximum density, it has strong force of attraction between the particles, and least intermolecular spacing between the particles of atoms. So hence a wooden table should be called a solid. So all these properties you have to note down. There are completely 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this 6 characteristic properties you have to mention whenever the reason like this will come. Oxygen is a gas, give a reason. Or wooden table is a solid, give a reason. Or water is a liquid, give a reason. There we have to only mention the characteristic properties of that particular state. So you can frame your answer like this. Fourth reason is we can easily move our hand in air, but to do the same thing through a solid block of wood, we need a karate expert. That means we can wave our hand in air, but not easily through the solid block. Why is it so? So we can frame our answer like this, that what all characteristic properties of air will allow us to do so, we will note it down, and what all characteristic properties of solid won't allow us to do so, we will note those down. So it will make this answer clear, that why we can do it in the air but not through the solid. Intermolecular spaces are maximum in air but with least force of attraction. Spaces are large and with least force of attraction. Whereas in the solid block, the intermolecular spaces are negligible and with maximum force of attraction. So it is easy to move our hand in air but not through the solids. Because of this two property, the intermolecular spaces and force of attraction, these two properties are different in air and solid. So that's why this property will allow to move our hand in air, whereas it won't allow, or we need a certain specific training to do so in solid block. So because of this two property it happens. So you just have to mention those two property and you can frame your answer. Fourth question is, liquids generally have lower density as compared to solids, but ice floats on water. Why? Because ice is an exceptional case. When water will convert into ice, the density of ice is lesser than the particles of water molecule. So here the per unit volume of ice will be larger compared to its density. So the intermolecular gaps in between ice will be larger compared to water molecule. For example, if this is a water molecules, then this will be a structure of ice. So the intermolecular gaps will widen in ice compared to water. So as a result, what will happen, that per unit volume of ice is larger than its density. So you can frame your sentence like this, that ice has a large intermolecular spaces compared to water. So whatever spaces, intermolecular spaces in water will be there, compared to that in ice it will be larger. So if this is a water, then these are the water particles, then this will be an ice particles. The spaces are larger, and because of this what will happen, that per unit volume of ice is larger than its density. So it can float on water. The density of ice is lesser than that of the water. So that's why ice can float on the water, even though that is a solid form of water. It can float on the water because of these two things, that it has a large intermolecular spaces compared to water. That is also you have to write, that compared to water it has large intermolecular spaces, and because of this per unit volume of ice is larger than its density, so it can float on water.